Hi, Reverend Paula Zabkar here from Spiritual Soul Center. Spiritual Soul Center, we are here to create a movement grounded in love and kindness that transforms us, our community, and the world. That's what we're here to do. Let's breathe that in as we prepare for the message today, to breathe in that simple yet powerful statement that we are here to create a movement in me, a movement in us, grounded in love and kindness, grounded in the heart, that transforms me first when I do that, that transforms my community when I vibrate that, and through that community then into the world. Feel that, breathe that, own that. Welcome to Spiritual Soul Center. Well, thank you as always for tuning in. Today's message came to me when I was washing dishes and I didn't know what I was going to talk about today, and this is what came to me. This idea of us noticing signs. We say, it's a sign, it's a sign. Look around, it must be a sign. We say that as if we think that God or the universe or the divine is somehow waiting for us to pass by to give us a sign, waiting to drop something in front of us, waiting for something to for that divine to see that we're struggling and giving us a sign, sign at a particular place, at a particular time, just for us, that sign. Well, I decided I don't really believe that's how it works, because I believe the universe is much grander. It works on a much more grand scale. It's much more powerful, and there's much more wisdom that's beyond my comprehension in how things really work in the spiritual realm. So I think it feels convenient. It feels convenient to say it's a sign. It's a sign. But the truth is, we make it a sign. We make it a sign based on what we make it mean. What we make it mean. It's the way we work. It's the way we're wired, I think, because we want to know that there's something more than just this physical universe, that there's something underlying everything that happens that's divine and holy and purposeful. We want to believe in signs. I want to believe in signs when I put it that way. And you know why? It's because there is more to life than this physical existence. And we really all know that. We already all know that it's more than just what we see. And we want to experience what's beneath that, like in the deepness of it. We yearn for some sort of connection or understanding to that. In the book I've been reading called Love Without End, Jesus Speaks, he says this about signs. He says, stop with all the signs and live what's in front of you now. Pow, there it is. Stop with all the trying to assign meaning to everything that happens and live what's in front of you now. I think that's very clear, and it rings a chord with me. Because for me, it's not about signs so much it is about awareness and acceptance of what is in front of me now. The awareness, acceptance from that. To acknowledge this is happening. And I can appreciate it, I can learn from it, I can sit with it, I can fight it and resist it if that's where I am. I can laugh at it. Laugh is the greatest foil to enlightenment. All of that. Here it is, and here I am. This is what is in front of me now. My belief is that whatever it is, it's there for my awakening. It's there for my awakening. So maybe there are signs everywhere, or maybe nowhere. But specific signs, not so sure. It reminded me of the story that I've shared with you before about the farmer and his horse and his son. And it goes like this. I want to read it to you because it speaks to this point. It speaks to this point. One day in late summer, an old farmer was working his field with his old sick horse. The farmer felt compassion for the horse and desired to lift its burdens. So he let his horse go loose into the mountains to live out the rest of its life. Of course, soon after, all the neighbors in the village came over offering condolences and said, "What a shame, what a shame. Now your only horse is gone. How unfortunate you are." You must be very sad. How will you live? How will you work? How will it work out?" And the farmer replied, "Who knows? We shall see." You remember this story? 2 days later, the old horse came back, now rejuvenated after meandering in the mountainsides while eating wild grass. He came back with 12 new, younger, and healthy horses, which followed the old horse into the corral. Well, word got out to the village, and you might imagine what the villagers were saying. They were coming by to congratulate the farmer on his great luck. "How fortunate you are," they exclaimed. "You must be very happy." Again, the farmer said, "Who knows? We shall see." At daybreak the next morning, the farmer's only son attempted to train the new horses. But the farmer's son was thrown to the ground and broke his leg. Yes, you're getting the story now. The villagers are becoming aware of that story and saying, "Oh, what a tragedy. Your only son won't be able to help you farm with his broken leg. You have to do all the work yourself. How will you ever survive?" And the farmer's response again, "Who knows? We shall see." Several days later, war broke out, and the emperor's men arrived at the village demanding that the young men come and serve in the emperor's army. As it happened, the farmer's son was deemed unfit because he had a broken leg. The villagers again, "What good fortune you have! Your son doesn't have to go to war because of his broken leg. You must be very happy." And again, the farmer replied, "Who knows? We shall see." As time went on, the son's broken leg healed. He was left with a slight limp. And again, the neighbors came to pay their condolences. "Oh, what bad luck. Too bad for you. Your son hasn't recovered in the way you had hoped." And the farmer said, "Who knows? We shall see." As it turned out, the other young boys that had gone off to war had died. And so the old farmer and his son were the only two able to work the land. He became very wealthy and very generous to his neighbors. And again they said, "How fortunate you are. You must be very happy." And the old farmer replied, "Who knows? We shall see." Who knows? We shall see. Or, "Isn't that interesting?" Or, I wonder. Or, "Maybe, maybe not." Or, "Let me sit with that for a while." Or, You see, I think what life wants us to do is pay attention. To pay attention. Were all these signs? I don't think so. I think this was the call to pay attention to life as it happens to be right in front of us. To not have to judge it, to not have to fix it or make it mean something in particular, but to be present to it. This is the practice of becoming aware, of noticing what's happening, of noticing, and just like the farmer, to come to that place of, I wonder, or who knows, we shall see. You see, it sounds benign, but it's an essential part of how we practice creating space in us. It's an essential part to pause. And in that pause, we open up our heart, we open up to curiosity. We open up to the divine to move through us. We release anxiety, and we're in that space of allowing it to happen. To notice, to pause, to ask a question. What's going on here? How do I move in this? What do I have to hold on to? What do I have to release? What is it calling up in me? To be curious about that, because you know where the true sign is? The true sign is inside. The true sign is how you feel and what your heart is saying. That's where the sign is. That's where the sign is. That's where you feel that sense of rightness and that sense of truth. Not a moral rightness, but a balance and a humility and a harmony and a love. That's what it's about. You know, I ran across a little Facebook quote that seemed to speak to the same thing as well. Let me read this to you. "We can deck ourselves out in sacred geometry tattoos, wave sage all around, fill our homes with crystals and go on psychedelic trips if we want. But if we aren't doing the inner work, it's all pretty useless and literally just a novelty at that point. Be careful not to use spiritual tools as illusionary cop-outs for putting in real work, for putting in that inner work, and painting a false image that you're actually tuned in when you're still trying to escape. Yeah. Use the tools to help you. Use the tools to help you. But the inner work, the inner place, is what we can rely on to guide us. It begins with curiosity. It begins with not attaching meaning to what happens out here so much as noticing and feeling what it is from the inside. That's the sign. That's the sign from the inside. How do I feel, and does it bring me joy? How do I feel, and does it bring me joy? From the inside. You know, the last 2 Sundays I've been sharing in my messages I guess I would say the pathway, the experience I've had in finding and signing a lease for our new space. You know, the first answer we got from the landlord was, yes, yes, we were moving right along. And then all of a sudden it was, no, that's not going to work. And then in the next instant it seemed it was, well, maybe it might work, we're reconsidering. And then we were in that maybe space for a week or so. And I was like, I wonder. In the meantime, in that maybe space, I got this note card from a friend of mine that said, just trust. So we're in that maybe space, and I send a little note to the realtor and I just say, any news? And then the next day or so, I got a lease through her from the landlord. We got a lease, and I am pleased to share with you that on Wednesday of this past week, I signed the lease for our new home for Spiritual Soul Center. Yes, that's what happened. Is it a sign? No, I don't believe it's a sign. I don't believe any of that's a sign. That's the experience I had. Those are the ups and downs and turns and twists that I had in my life, just like you have in your life. Is any of it a sign? No, I don't believe that. But I do feel excited. I do feel hopeful. I do feel an energy about that. That's coming from the inside. I feel grateful. I feel humbled. And I feel ready to step into this great unknown. Into this great unknown. That's what I'm feeling. And that feels good and right and true in me. That's the biggest sign. That's the biggest sign. Jesus said, stop looking for the signs. Stop looking for the signs and start living what's in front of you now. So I want to invite you, all the Spiritual Soul Center supporters, all of my friends, all the Spiritual Soul Center family, to get ready, because here we go. And I expect to take each step and to live what's in front of me. I hope you're ready to join me too. Yes? I hope you said yes. So let's take a deep breath and pause today in the stillness, in the place within us where the real work is done. To breathe in and breathe out, and to know that any sign we're looking for is not in the outer. It is the feeling and the movement of the divine closer than our breath, right inside ourself. And it is there that wisdom and strength and courage reside. Let's sit a while in that space, right here and right now. it feels good to feel excited. It feels good to appreciate, to feel gratitude, to feel the humility of the way life works. And to know that my greatest courage comes when I can come to each day accepting what is, being aware of what's happening, and to know that I have that courage in me, that I have that strength in me, that I have that purpose and meaning in life already in me to bring myself to whatever is happening and whatever I encounter in each day and at any time. For this, in this very moment now, I am grateful, and so it is. Amen. Amen. That's the story. That's the story today. I hope to see you next week on November 21st at Longleaf Park. We have a gratitude circle at 10 o'clock and a full service at 11 o'clock. Guest speaker Kim Dam will be there, and our meditation will be led by Megan Rose. Eileen Argenbright will be there with me for the gratitude circle, playing her angel harp. It's going to be a great morning. I have no doubt that it will be a great morning, regardless of the weather, regardless of whatever is happening that day. We will be able to gather together and have an experience like no other. And I'm looking forward to that. I hope you check out your newsletter and join us in the park next Sunday, November 21st. And I want to send today, November 14th, a happy birthday to my dad. Thank you for all that you have given me and continue to advise me from beyond the veil. Happy birthday, Dad. So let's close this way with this prayer together. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. And so it is. Until next time.